Yo, what's good everyone? It is GlitchXCity here. Today we're giving you guys our NPA Season 10 double digits season week 2 matchup against Scott. And if you guys don't know who Scott is, if you guys didn't see NPA Season 9, he is a replacement coach who has stuck with us ever since, and I am glad that he has stayed because he's a very cool person. So shout outs to Shiv for bringing him up here, and shout outs to Scott for just being a really cool guy. So, whatever. If you guys didn't see our week 1 matchup against Magma Pulse, coach of the Chaos Dragons, another good friend of mine, we did pick up a nice 3-0 victory against him. So we got 8 more matches to go before it determines whether or not we go to playoffs. But considering the people in this league, and I can already tell that it's going to be a highly competitive matchup. And I already know it's not going to be easy. I'm aiming to get that championship back. I'm aiming to get that back. I got goals, alright? I got goals. And if you guys don't already see the matchup, there you go. Scott has a very interesting team. He has dual weather with the Tyranitar and the Politoed. And he has that nice rain sweeper with the Ludicolo. He has a bulky Goodra that gets benefit from the rain with the hydration ability. He's got Galvantula for speed control. He has Blaziken. Really cool firefighting type at base 80 speed. Speed boost is definitely banned. Skarmory, one of the best steel types in the game, gets Spikes, Stealth Dogs, Defog, Roost. Pretty much one of the best hazard stackers in the entire meta. Hitmonlee, very hard hitting fighting type Pokemon. Could be a fake out normal gem on Burden set. Could be a grassy seed set if he predicts my Tapu Bulu. So gotta watch out for that in the late game. He got Comfey, pretty interesting fairy type. Not really the best, but it does pretty much have everything that you would want in a fairy, like Cleric. It has priority and it's draining kids with Triage and a lot of other cool stuff. Type No, best Pokemon in the game. I was so happy when Scott picked up Type No because it is the best Pokemon in the game. If you guys didn't see it's the work that it put in last season, then you should definitely check that out. But since Type No is on the other side of the field, we gotta take it down. Alolan Dugtrio, 20 base points slower than its original form, but a pretty scary threat nonetheless. Gets ground and steel stat with Iron Head and Earthquake. Another rock setter along with Skarmory, Tyranitar, and Ludicolo, like as I just said earlier. But yep, that is his team. Very interesting team. I want to say it's just as interesting as mine, but at least he doesn't have 3 ice types. But yeah. So let's get right into this team builder. I'm not going to go any further. The first thing I noticed in this team builder is that Electivire puts in a lot of work. The Electivire just is one of those Pokemon that it just gets like a lot of coverage, but it's just very low tiered. So I think it's because of its speed and its defenses, but I don't know. Sorry. So we got Motorsport, the Electivire. Look at the ICMZ with the Motor Drive because I don't think Vital Spirit is that necessary, and I don't think I'm going to sleep. So we got Volt Switch, Ice Punch, Low Kick, and T-Punch. Like I said, Electivire gets a lot for its coverage move. Low Kick hits the Tyranitar. Low Kick does a lot to Type No. It does a lot to Alolan Dugtrio. And I could pack Flamethrower for like Dugtrio and Galvantula, but I decided against it because we are running Z Ice Punch, which OHKOs Goodra upon a Thunder Punch switch in and then dies after an ICMZ Ice Punch. So, I kind of expect Goodra to come. I know I have 3 ice types, but the chances of me bringing 3 ice types is kind of unlikely, considering that he has 2 fighting types, a Skarmory, and a Tyranitar. So, the chances are kind of slim, plus they're really low tiered, so the chances of me bringing them are kind of eh. So, I kind of expect Goodra mainly because it's really spit up bulky. It gets a lot of cool coverage, like for Nihilego. Like, I could wall it with Nihilego, but it gets access to Earthquake. I could wall it with Tapu Bulu, but it gets access to Sludge Wave. Do Blade, it gets Fire Blast. Cloyster, its Spadef is bad. Hydreigon, Goodra could take a Draco Meteor and hit back with its ult and kill Hydreigon. Alakazam is just mainly especially offensive, and unless I run Psy Shock, I'm not really going to do any damage to it. So, and then plus I could bring like a Spec Swallow, so I feel like he'd want to bring Goodra 100%. So that's why I'm going to bring Ice Punch ICMZ, lure it in with Electivire, make it look like I don't have anything for it, and maybe you can be like, oh, I can live an Ice Punch or something like that, and then just kill it off with a Z move. And then Low Kick is mainly just there for the Tyranitar. I mean, like I said, it does hit the Type No and everything, but Tyranitar is going to be a huge threat because it's going to be, in my opinion, one of his main switch-ins to stuff like Mega Alakazam and like Hydreigon, because those are both mainly, especially offensive Pokemon, especially Swellow if I run like a spec set. That's the possibility. So yep, that is our Electivire set. Next up we got Alakazar, the Mega Alakazam that put in, I forgot what it did last week, but I'm pretty sure, oh yeah, this was the counter set. This is the counter Mega Alakazam that took down Celesteela, and that was great. And we're putting a pretty similar set that we brought last time. Last time we brought a max HP, max physically defensive set. And because Mega Alakazam is so fast at base 150 speed and his special attack is 175, I don't have to run any investment. Like, little to no investment do I have to run any EVs on them. Like, unless he has a Pokemon that's at least base 110 speed, I don't have to run any speed unless I'm scared of a certain Scarfer. So yeah, so here in this matchup, his fastest Pokemon is Galvantula at base 108. So I only have to run 60 speed EVs, and the rest was put into HP, 192 in defense, bold nature, and then 4 in attack, 4 in Spadef. Of course, we got the trace ability. And our set this week is Psyshock, Recover, Calm Mind, and Focus Blast. Focus Blast 2-hit KOs Tyranitar unless it's max Fizz, max Spadef, max HP in the Sand Assault Vest. So that's literally the only way in which he lives to Focus Blast, I'm pretty sure. And if it doesn't, then Mega Alakazam is just a monster. Psyshock for stuff. Psyshock for main stab. Hits Blaziken, hits Galvantula harder. Hits Comfey harder. Hits Goodra harder. Politoed, Hitmonlee. So yeah, I really didn't need that much. Like, the only two moves I needed this week was Psyshock and Focus Blast. Because anything that resists Psyshock, I could Focus Blast. Because the only thing that resists Psyshock is Alolan Dugtrio, Tyranitar, and Skarmory. All of which take super effective damage or neutral damage from a Focus Blast. So yeah, kind of risky with 70% accurate move. But, you know, you gotta take the risk. You gotta get the reward. I don't think that's how the phrase goes. But yeah, that is our set. And we're also running a lot of defense investment. With this investment, this allows me to take a Pursuit from Tyranitar, assuming I don't switch out. And I can just spam Recover, because I think Pursuit does around 50%. So if I can get a good few rolls, then assuming he's not max attack adamant, I should be able to Focus Blast twice and possibly kill it. So next up, we got Kleisel, the Glaceon. And, you know, I'm dropping Glaceon after this week, so I was like, you know what, I might as well use it. I had Cloyster here originally, but I wanted to use Glaceon. Plus, I needed more of a Spadef bulky Pokemon, so I brought in Assault Vest Glaceon. Both of its abilities are useless in this game. We got Ice Shard, Mirror Coat, Ice Beam, HP Fighting, 248 HP, 196 Special Attack, Modest, 56 Speed to Outspeed, Uninvested Speed, Politoed, and Skarmory. And yeah, base 130 special attack, that is something you don't sleep on. I 2-hit KO Skarmory if it's not Spadef. I do a decent amount with HP Fighting against Tyranitar. I 2-hit KO non-assault vest Goodra. I 2-hit KO Galvantula. I 2-hit KO Comfey. I kill let's see, I kill Dugtrio. I 2-hit KO Ludicolo. So this Glaceon can do work. And then the Mirror Coat is just there because I didn't know what else to put, honestly. Like, I guess I could Mirror Coat the Galvantula, maybe? I don't know. But more than likely, I'm just gonna click Ice Beam. And then Ice Shard is just there for nice priority. Like, maybe the Galvantula's at its Sash, or maybe the Hitmonlee is it's on Burden, and then it's like maybe at a low amount of HP. So yep, that is Kleisel. Just wanted to use it. And next up, we got Maleficent, the Hydreigon. I've been using Hydreigon pretty differently than what everyone else has been using. As you guys already see, I'm using it way differently this week. So we got a leftover set. Physically offensive with Dragon Claw, U-Turn, Default, Superpower, 88 HP, 252 attack, 168 speed, Jolly, and then the rest in defenses. Leftovers because we're not running a Roost, and I don't really need to run any power this week. Dragon Claw is there because after, because I didn't want to run Draco. I'm running physical mainly because for the Goodra and the Tyranitar Superpower, I'll lose Tyranitar unless it's Chopple, and Dragon Claw does at least 78% of max HP Goodra. So I didn't want to run Draco Meteor. Like I like if he brings in the Goodra, I could U-turn, get the damage I need, and then after a U-turn, it's guaranteed in range of a Dragon Claw. I could have brought Dragon Rush, but then there was a 25% chance of me missing, so I didn't want to do that either. So yeah, we did that. And we have Defog, because Defog's there mainly because he has 3 Rockers and a Sticky Web user in Galvantula. So, yep, that's pretty much about it. And I was going to bring Defog on my last Pokemon. As you guys will see, it is Ono, the Swellow. But I am bringing a rather different set for Swellow this week. But before we get into that, let's go into Chile, the Tapu Bulu. We're running a Choice Scarf, Grassy Surge, because that's the only ability you get that I like, because I don't like Telepathy, because this isn't a doubles match. But we got a Choice Scarf set with Woodhammer, Taunt, Hornleech, Nature's Madness, Max Attack, Adamant, 192 speed, enough speed to outspeed Galvantula +1, or 1.5 speed with the Choice Scarf, rest in HP and defenses. And literally, if you think about it, looking at his team, once I weaken Galvantula, once I weaken Type Null, once I weaken Blaziken, once I get rid of Skarmory or even weaken Skarmory to like 10%, I just sweep with Bulu. Oh yeah, I forgot about Goodra. Because Goodra could have Sipper as well. So the thing behind this is that Bulu pretty much OHKOs half his team. Tyranitar dies, Politoed dies, Galvantula is near death, Hitmonlee dies, Ludicolo dies, Dugtrio dies, Type Null gets 2-hit KO'd, Comfey dies. Like, literally, even Blaziken and Galvantula get 2-hit KO'd, and the only thing that can really take a hit is either Gudra or Skarmory. Gudra doesn't get any physically offensive fairy type moves, so I'd have to click Nature's Madness on the switch. I click Nature's Madness on the Skarmory switch in, force it to roost, or I could taunt the Skarmory on the switch in, prevent it from getting up rocks, and not force me to go into my Hydreigon and click Defog. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. I didn't really feel like running any other set, and in addition, I kind of rushed it. I kind of rushed this prep anyway because I was like, he wanted to battle. I'm like, okay, sure. So I just made a team and then we just battled today. So yeah, same day of the recording, same day of the battle. And last but not least, we have Ono Frey the Swallow, and this is possibly the heat of the week. We got safety goggles because you know he got that Sandstream. We got guts because we don't need Scrappy. There's no Ghost type. But we are running Endeavor Substitute Reversal Baton Pass. And before anyone rambles on about me, Baton Pass is only illegal if you include speed. You can include anything else, doesn't matter to me. We got bars. We got max attack, 136 speed Jolly. I had to run Jolly this week in case he ran max speed. Oh, his fastest one is Dugtrio. What am I talking about? I had to run max speed because of max speed Dugtrio. And yeah, the thing is that I don't know how Scott preps. So like if he does like put 252 speed max and doesn't care about like just enough speed, then I have to run at least Jolly to make sure that I outspeed that thing. So the idea behind this is that I can bring Swallow in on a Pokemon that just possibly dies to a Specs Boomburst or like a Guts Boosted Facade or Brave Bird, and then scare him out into his switch in, click Substitute, Baton Pass into whatever deals with that switch in, and then hopefully get some momentum going on. And the other factor behind this is that I can spam Substitute assuming I take no damage from anything on his team. The only thing that can hit me for priority damage is Hitmonlee, Blaziken, Galvantula, and Alolan Dugtrio. And like pretty much half of those is like Sucker Punch and the other half is like Mach Punch or Vacuum Wave. So other than that, there should be no reason why Swallow should be taking damage because I'm not going to switch this in unless I'm doubling out. And the other thing behind is that with the safety goggles, I am not taking any damage from Sandstream. And that's what's so good about this set, is that if I can spam Substitute, force him to break my sub every time, eventually get to 1%, I can literally OHKO Tyranitar with Reversal. It does like 150%. I can Reversal the Dugtrio, I can Reversal the Type Null, and then whatever I don't really Reversal or doesn't really OHKO, for example like Gudra or Comfey, I can just Endeavor, and that's basically Swallow. That's basically a trade for Swallow and that Pokemon that could have been a huge threat. So looking at my team, I don't really have much for Skarmory. I mean, I'm not. The only thing I would say I have for Skarmory would have to be like the Vire, Glaceon, and Swallow. Like I would have to forcibly have Swallow be at 1% to spam Endeavor and have Skarmory kill me in order to deal with that thing. So yeah, that is, you know, it's kind of a funky set. Like I'm bringing a lot of weird mons this week, but like honestly, like I said, last minute sets, and I thought it was some heat. You know, I gotta bring some sort of heat this week. You know, like there's no week without some heat. You know, just some type of heat. Like you know, you can go with the mild one. Like mild's okay, but you know, you gotta go with like the spicy, like California spice. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, we gotta go with the spice. So hopefully, I'm expecting this to do some work, and yeah, that is our rundown on our team, and I will see you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, we're back with the match, and as you guys can see, Scott, coach of the Niagara Watchogs, has brought a team of Blaziken, Tyranitar, Comfey, Hitmonlee, Galvantula, unfortunately, as well as Skarmory. And if you guys didn't see our team builder, you guys should definitely go back and at least skim through it so you guys get an idea of what we brought for this week. But other than that, let's get right into this matchup. Overall, I'm going to go ahead, lead with my Hydreigon, and hope he doesn't lead with Galvantula. Main reason I'm leading with Hydreigon is that it has a pretty good matchup against everything except for like half his other team. So I was predicting like Skarmory, T-Tar, mainly those two. But if you led with Galvantula, that would have been a problem. I probably would have been forced to switch out into my Glaceon. But as you guys will see, let's get right into this matchup. This is Scott, week 2. If we do get this, we'll be 2-0, which would be great. Do lead with Maleficent, as he does lead with the Skarmory. Now, if you guys watch the team builder, you guys would know that I am a physical Hydreigon, and thus I don't have Fire Blast because I'm not mixed. So I'm going to go ahead, go for the U-turn, and unfortunately he's going to get up his rocks here, but actually he's going to predict the Fire Blast and go onto his T-Star, which is not a bad play, but like that was just an unintentional play because he just didn't know my set. But here I'm going to go to my Bulu. I'm going to go ahead and click Nature's Mat. Actually, not yet. I'm going to double out predicting the Skarmory because it's pretty obvious. And yeah, I'm going to find out what kind of EV spread he has on the Skarmory. I go for Thunder Punch, and it seems like he's more of a Spadef set, and that's kind of bad. The thing is that since I'm a ICMZ, I'm not boosted in any way, and as you guys can see, without Wild Charge, Electivire is not doing enough damage to this Skarmory to perfectly to 2-hit KO it comfortably. So I'm gonna go for Volt Switch, and that does less than the first Thunder Punch. So yeah, he kind of has the right amount. He basically has the right EV spread to go ahead and take on my Electivire set, which is kind of unfortunate because I don't really have much to take down the Skarmory overall. So I'm going to go for the Defog as I do break switch in my Hydreigon. He does get a Roost off, which is fine. I predict the switch in the Comfey and I go for U-turn or even Tyranitar, but he does stay and just go for Rocks again, probably knowing that I don't have Fire Blast, and that's fine. But as I go into my Swellow, I click Substitute and he clicks Iron Head, and I'm kind of confused by this because the one thing is that I directly switched in Swellow on a Skarmory. So to me, I feel like that should definitely scream Specs Heat Wave, because I'm pretty sure that's normal, right? Right? That's normal, right? So that's not the case, as he does stay in and click Iron Head, so that's unfortunate. But I basically know his whole moveset now. Iron Head, Stealth Rocks, Roost, Defog. No, Iron Head, Stealth Rocks, Roost. Is that it? Or is that all I've seen? Oh no, you guys will see the next move right here. I'm going to go for Substitute again, and he reveals the Whirlwind. So he can't touch my Electivire at all, but I can't really touch him. So realistically, I could just spam Thunder Punch. But here he goes into Comfey. I do go for the Defog, so he does make that prediction perfectly, but I do not want Rocks on my side of the field whatsoever. Just because, mainly because of my Swellow, my Glaceon. I'm going to go into my Bulu, as he does go for the Tailwind, which is a pretty interesting move. I've never really seen Tailwind Comfey, but it's pretty much going to help him right here. I was kind of predicting him to stay in and click Wood Hammer, but then I realized that I don't outspeed because I am a Scarf Bulu, so I was like, maybe I'll catch him on the surprise. But I'm going to just go for Nature's Madness, and I do get the Nature's Madness off. And right now, I'm just going to go ahead and predict the Roost. I'm going to go into my Electivire, but he actually goes for the Stealth Rock, so a really good play on his part. But now he could just go for Roost because he does outspeed. I'm going to predict this, just go for Low Kick to get as much damage off as possible. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and click Thunder Punch. It is a 2-hit KO from this range, but he is going to click Roost. But at this point, actually here on this turn, I'm going to click Thunder Punch again, but he is going to switch into Galvantula. And I was so close to clicking my Z move, but unfortunately, I didn't have the balls to do it. Because realistically, with my ICMZ's Z Ice Punch, that was specifically there for Goodra, which he didn't even bring, unfortunately. So, this is a perfect opportunity to burn it. So I'm just going to go ahead and use it. Worst case scenario, his Life Orb, and based off the damage, he is definitely Life Orb. So unfortunately, my Electivire is it's overwhelmingly hindered. And now he brings in a Tyranitar, and I was really confused. I was like, hold up. He brought in T-Tar on Electivire, but I revealed Low Kick on the Skarmory. So by already showing Low Kick against the Skarmory, I'm thinking, oh, he probably has Chople Berry, and he's gonna like Earthquake me. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into my Hydreigon. I'm gonna Volt Switch out, get that measly 8%, and with that, I think that's Assault Vest. That did way too little. So I'm gonna go into my Hydreigon. He makes a really good play, goes for the Ice Punch, get about 67% on me, and that's fine. So here, right now I have to decide whether or not I want to take this thing down with the Superpower or just click Defog and get rid of the Rocks. I decided to go for the Defog, and now we're both 5 and 5 as he does pick me off. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and just use my Swellow right now to try and get to 1 HP. And you guys are noticing that I am not taking any Sandstorm damage because I do have the safety goggles. I'm kind of surprised he clicked Stone Edge because he could have missed right there, and that would have been a perfect scenario for me. But here, this is perfect. I am at 1%. With the safety goggles, I'm not going to die. And by being at 1%, Reversal is at its max power. And that is definitely enough to take down the Tyranitar. I'm going to switch out to Bulu, predicting the Draining Kiss. Because if it is Triage, then he is going to outspeed me. And I don't want to lose my Swellow just yet. But here, I pull a double into my Swellow, predicting him to go into Skarmory. And I guess it's alright. I guess he was just sacking the Comfey at that point. And just trying to get a Tailwind out before Bulu takes it down. But with the mindset that I'm Scarfed, I was kind of predicting him to switch, but he doesn't know I'm Scarfed. So that double was kind of risky, but there was no way he was going to click U-turn or anything like that. I didn't think he was going to click U-turn. It didn't make any sense to me. But here, I'm going to go back out to Bulu because I don't want to take that Draining Kiss. Bulu is bulky enough and Draining Kiss is so weak that the damage doesn't really matter. So here he goes back out to Skarmory, and I probably should have doubled backed out into Swellow, but I didn't want to double out, and he predicts that again. So I just went ahead, go for Nature's Madness. It's the overall safe play. And here, if I switch out to Swellow and he clicks Iron Head, then that kind of sucks, because now I don't really have an answer to Skarmory. So Either I get this thing in before he sets up rocks, or I get this in when he clicks roost, or yeah, whatever. So I'm gonna make the ballsy play, go into Swallow. He does go for stealth rocks, so I am able to bring this in before rocks go up again, and they're here to remain for the whole entire game. But here I'm gonna click Endeavor as he does click roost, trying to scouting what I have. And at this point, I can just spam Endeavor for a good while. Now, the only problem with this is that if I only have 8 Endeavors, and he has more roosts than I have Endeavors. So, here he does come with the Iron Head, thankfully, but that was a misplay on his part. He should have just spammed roost, knowing that I only had 8 Endeavors. But here, I can just bring in my Bulu, click one hammer, and Skarmory does go down. And here is where the misplay could have been a massive misplay. So, I'm going to take a breather real quick. It's been 7.5 minutes into this battle. Take a breather, you know, take a breather. Because your boy gotta breathe. Oh, God. But here's the problem. So, Blaziken is one of his Z-move mons. And I didn't realize the tragedy that could have happened to me. So, I go into Bulu. I am Scarf. So, I'm going to go ahead, sack this thing, go for Wood Hammer. Look at this damage. 63%. Blaziken drops. And he pulls out the Z-move. And thank God it's an offensive Z-move. If that wasn't an offensive Z-move, we could have been in massive trouble. And not only that, I bring in Electivire and I'm like, he only kills me if he has Vacuum Wave. He has freaking Vacuum Wave. So, Electivire goes down. Now, here was the misplay. So, you guys already saw the Z Fire Blast. Or I think it was Z Fire Blast because he had Vacuum Wave. But if that was Z Sunny Day, I probably just lost right there. Why? So here's what I should have done. I should have switched in Alakazam against the Skarmory, picked that off with the Side Shock, killed that thing, get my Mega off, and at that point, I basically just won. Because as you guys already saw, type of Bulu outsped Blaziken, so this means it's not Scarfed, and the likelihood of it being Sashed is kind of 0 to none, and he was a Z move. So, Alakazam was definitely the play, because if I brought in Alakazam, Skarmory would have died, and if he did bring in Blaziken, he wouldn't have had a chance to go for that Z move, which could have been Z Sunny Day. If that was Z Sunny Day with like Flare Blitz, shoot, I think I lost a match right there. Like, honestly. But thankfully, that's not the case. That's my fault for bringing Electivire. I should have just brought in Mega Alakazam from the start. There was no reason for me to risk the priority. I should have gone to Mega Alakazam, as you guys do see here. I chased the Blaze, which is pretty much useless. I do pick this off with the Side Shock. And at this point in the game, by being physically defensive and naturally especially bulky against a Comfey that doesn't really have any power backed up to it, I go for a Calm Mind as he goes for the Tailwind. I guess he predicted me to go for Calm Mind again, but +1 is really all I need to 2-hit KO max physically defensive Comfey. Hitmonlee goes down. Comfey gets 2-hit KO'd as you guys see right here. And that means that your Big Island Weasels are about to pick up their second victory of the NPA Season 10 Week 2. We're going to pick up a nice 2-0 victory, which should have been a 3-0. It should have been a 4-0 at best if I switched in Alakazam first. Or a 3-0 if I just switched to Mega Alakazam and that Electivire. So, there were like 2 missed differential points I missed out on. But that's fine, because the W is a W. That's all that matters. It's still early in the season, so it doesn't really matter at this point. But other than that, that's going to be the game. And GG to Niagara. GG to Scott, coach of Niagara. No, oh my god. GG to Scott. Alright, coach of the Niagara Watchogs. And yep, we're going to be 2-0 +5. And that puts up pretty high. That puts us up pretty high on the ranks and one of the only few people that are still undefeated. Next week we take on next time we take on Russell, coach of the New York Blaze Kicks. If you guys remember, that was our semifinals opponent in the playoffs last season, and we did beat him out there, and hopefully we can do it again this time. But other than that, if you guys are still here, very much appreciated. This was GlitchXCity here, and I'll see you guys in the next encounter.